Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most beneficent. Countless salutation on last Prophet Muhammad Pak sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. जी जोनाथन जावेद।
सर मेरा वो क्वेश्चन था कि लास्ट वो जो स्टूडेंट
ओके
ने सवाल किया
श्योर
कि
श्योर।
डायबिटिक्स जोन सी है वो इनहेरिटेड से हो सकती। तो सर अगर हमें नॉलेज है इस बारे में कि हमारे हेरिटेड में जो सी हमारे पेरेंट्स में डायबिटिक मौजूद है,
हम्म।
तो अब हमें वो कहीं ना कहीं फ्यूचर में जाके होगी।
जी
तो सर क्या हम पे ये फर्ज होता है कि हम उसको यानी कि अपनी शुगर डाइट को थोड़ा कम रखें या उसको कंट्रोल रखें, इतनी ज़्यादा वो शुगर जो सी फूड आइटम्स हैं उनको ना
जाहिर
यूज़
बात
करें
है
ताकि
बेटा।
वो अर्ली ना हो, लेट में हो जाए।
जी नहीं, वो अगर आप सही कंट्रोल करेंगे तो शायद ना हो, शायद ना हो।
ठीक।
ठीक है ना, ये फर्ज नहीं है, ये है आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी अपने आप को बचाने की। ये साइंटिफिकली भी प्रूव हो सकता है और इस्लामिकली भी, कि आपने अपने आप को डैमेज नहीं करना। ऐसा कहीं पे किसी रिलीजन की किताब में ये नहीं है कि अपने आप को डैमेज करें। जब आपको पता है तो यहाँ पे एक आपके साथ स्टोरी शेयर करना चाहूंगा जोनाथन जावेद। मैं जब पीएचडी में दोबारा मैंने पीएचडी स्टार्ट की ना बाहर से, 2015 की बात है, तो मेरे एक प्रोफेसर साहब थे, प्रोफेसर पी शिंग लियो। वेरी नाइस गाय, लिपिड ड्रॉपलेट्स पे उनका काम था। तो उन्होंने मुझे एक बात कही थी। वो जब भी क्लास में आते थे उनके पास एक डाइट कोक होती थी, मुझे नहीं पूरी क्लास को उन्होंने एक बात कही थी। उन वो जब डायबिटीज के बारे में हमें पढ़ा रहे थे तो उन्होंने कहा था कि मुझे और मेरी बीवी को डायबिटीज है, और अगर हम रिसर्चर होकर भी अपनी डायबिटीज को ना कंट्रोल कर सके तो क्या फायदा। तो उन्होंने पहले दिन से ही अपनी शुगर को इतना कंट्रोल किया था कि तब तक उन्हें डायबिटीज नहीं थी, एज आई रिमेम्बर। और ही वाज मे बी 50 प्लस दैट टाइम। So if you guys know that your family has your family is diabetic, then you should control your diet, your sugar level, and everything, as you are researchers and you are educated person in this regard. Any other question, Jonathan?
नो सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Okay. So we are going to start our lecture. Jonathan Javed, please mark the attendance. Laiba Khalid, please mark the attendance. If anyone has any question, please raise your hand. From last lecture, if anyone has any question. Mubin, Ji Mubin.
सर वो आपने एक म्यूटेशन बताई थी, पीच बेल म्यूटेशन, उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बता दें।
पीस मील डुप्लीकेशन शाह साहब बताई थी, पीस मील म्यूटेशन नहीं,
सॉरी सॉरी
पीस
सॉरी सर, डुप्लीकेशन
डुप्लीकेशन।
सर।
आपने लास्ट लेक्चर लिया है जिनोमिक्स वाला?
सर मेरे जहन में नहीं आ रही इस टाइम, आप काइंडली
मैं
रिपीट
सर
कर
बता देता हूँ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ जरा जेन पक्का करो। 3 दिन पहले ही ਲੈਕਚਰ ਸੀ ਸਿਰਫ, ਤਾਂ ਬਾਦਾਮ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੋਰੀ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ? ऐसा ना करो शाह साहब।
बादाम है, बादाम है ही नहीं सर।
अच्छा चलो, मैं अभी डिस्कस करते हैं पीस मील डुप्लीकेशन को। पीस मील डुप्लीकेशन, जैसे कि आपको उसकी टर्मिनोलॉजी बता रही है, पीस मील स्पेसिफिक स्मॉल पोर्शन duplicated from one chromosome to another chromosome or from one leg of chromosome to the other leg of chromosome is known as piecemeal duplication. Not complete chromosome, only a small portion from chromosome just duplicated from one chromosome to another chromosome or from one leg of the chromosome to the other leg of chromosome is known as piecemeal duplication. In this figure we have Jonathan Javed, please cross verify all the things, recording of the lecture, mark the attendance, my voice, and screen. Please have a look on everything. Thank you. So Mobeen, we have in this example, sorry, in this example we have the example, we have the, you can say example of piecemeal duplication. This was a chromosome, chromosome number 1, and this portion just duplicates here, and now we have 2 copies of the same portion in that chromosome, and the size of the chromosome increases. This is known as piecemeal duplication. I hope you get your answer. So now we are just moving to the next slide, as we discussed in our last lecture about mutations, and now we are on translocation. This is also a type of mutation, chromosomal mutation, that involves 2 different chromosomes and that are not homologous. I hope you guys just know the concept of homologous and paralogous proteins and genes. I'm not going to unfold those concepts here as we have less time and we still have much lecture remaining. So part of one chromosome is transferred to another chromosome is known as translocation. Movement of one portion of chromosome to the other one is the translocation. Here we have an example of translocation. Before translocation, there was two chromosomes, the white one and the black one. You can say A and B. After that, there will be a translocation event, and translocation happened. Chromosome A and B we have. Now you can see the part of chromosome B just moves to chromosome A, and part of chromosome A moves to chromosome B, and these different colors just representing this. This happens in translocation, and it is also a type of chromosomal mutation. After that, we have non-disjunction mutations, that is the failure of chromosomes to separate during meiosis. If you guys just remind the concept of meiosis, in which the chromosome just separate from each other, and we have two copies, and one for the daughter chromosome and one for the parent, sorry, daughter cell, and one for the parent cell, to stable the, you can say, to stable the number of chromosomes in each cell, or in each tissue, or in each nucleus, what you want to say here. So if there will be damage there at that portion, or at that point, that the chromosome cannot separate their self from each other during the process of meiosis, is known as non-disjunction chromosomal mutation. And these usually happens and causes in gametes to have too many or too few chromosomes. Sometimes some gametes has too many chromosomes, as suppose there was 23 chromosomes, 23 pair of chromosomes, 46 chromosomes, and 20 chromosomes just separates, and 60 chromosomes didn't 20 separates, and from 46 almost 26 didn't separate. So you can see that 26 in one side, and 20 is another side. So one specific cell or gene has a number of more chromosome as compared to other one, or the other has the less chromosome, because that didn't separate and just moves to the other cell. So because of these mutations, we have different types of syndromes, including Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome. So here I have a question from both of you classes that you have to solve it and submit it in 3 lines only. What is the difference between syndrome, disease, and disorder? So you guys have to study about that, and you have to send your response to your CR, everyone, in 3 lines, not more than 3 lines. 1 line for syndrome, 1 for disorder, 1 for disease. You can also make a table that has only 1 column and row, in which you can compare what is the difference between syndrome, disease, and disorder, and you have to mail that to your CR or GR, and then CR or GR compile all the results in 1 file and send it to me for checking. And this assignment carry 1 mark. Thank you. So after that, we have types of gene mutations. Gene mutations, first we will just discussing above side, we just discuss about the chromosomal mutations. Now we are discussing about types of gene mutations, that has point mutation, that specifically mutation occurs at specific 1 point, substitution, deleting something, insertion, adding something, deletions, deleting substitutions, including something, and frame shift mutation. You remember this is the most dangerous one. Sometimes it just changes all the frames and just disturb the proteins very badly. So first we have the point mutation, that specific single nucleotide just mutates or changes, and that has that specific point mutation includes deletion of that specific point mutation, that specific base pair or amino acid, or insertion of one amino acid or base pair, or substitution of one nucleotide in the gene. So sickle cell anemia is the most common example we studied from our childhood, from our FSC, or from our in our BSc, in our MSc. So we studied it a lot about sickle cell anemia in this point mutation, in which the cell just changes shape and occurs in these point mutation also occurs in hemoglobin. Okay. So in this figure you can see that these are the normal cells. However, this is a mutated cell that has sickle cell anemia mutation. After that, we have frame shift mutation, that is considered as the most deadliest mutation because it just disturbs the whole protein sometimes. And if suppose there is one base pair or one amino acid insertion at if there is a protein of 100 amino acid, and if the protein is of 100 amino acid, and there is at amino acid number 13 there is a frame shift, then you have all the amino acids moves forward or disturbed. At that position, you can imagine what will happen with the protein and what will happen with the function of that protein and the mechanism that is performing with the help of that protein. So everything will be disturbed because of that specific one frame shift. Inserting or deleting one or more nucleotide, changing the reading frame like changing a sentence, and proteins built incorrectly, totally incorrectly. After that, we have silent mutations. We will have some examples of frame shift mutation later down in these slides, I hope, inshallah. And now we have silent mutations. These mutations these mutations changes the amino acids, however did not make some impact to the protein or the function of the protein. So the change in one codon for an amino acid into another codon for that same amino acid, that the same physiochemical properties of that amino acid. Silent mutations are also referred as synonymous mutations. So here in this figure you can see that this silent mutation occurs, that that the nucleotide A just changes into alanine, just changes into glycine. However, GAA code and GAG code both just coding the same amino acid, glutamic acid, as I remember, GLU. So sorry, not this is not A and alanine and glycine. This is adenosine and guanine. Sorry, that is nucleotides. Actually, I work more on protein, so it's in my mind as alanine and glycine. Sorry for that. It's adenine and guanine, and you can see that A just changes into G. However, the amino acid glutamic acid is still same. So this is silent mutation. It happened but did not change the function of the protein as the same amino acid appears. After that, we have missense mutations, in which the codon of one amino acid is changed into codon for another amino acid. And missense mutations are sometimes referred as non-synonymous mutations. In this figure, you can see this missense mutation. So this time I'm in bit hurry because I have to complete the lecture in this contents in this lecture, and we have the practical in the last, so I am going to be in hurry. Otherwise, please represent your class, Jonathan Javed and Laiba Khalid, that we have to be in hurry, or we can have one more lecture on it, or we have to summarize all the content in the same lecture. Please represent your classes, Jonathan Javed and Laiba Khalid. जी जोनाथन, इसी लेक्चर में पूरा कर दें कि नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में कर लें?
सर नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में ले जाएं।
पक्की बात है?
टॉपिक इंटरेस्टिंग है इस वजह से। जी सर।
थैंक यू। लाइबा खालिद, जी बेटा, प्लीज रिप्रेजेंट योर क्लास।
यस सर, सेम आंसर। आप नेक्स्ट लेक्चर भी कर लें साथ।
नहीं, साथ तो नहीं होगा बेटा, मेरी दूसरी क्लास के साथ है, कल हो सकता है।
ठीक है सर, कल कर लें।
फिर ये जब जितना आज होगा हम उतना कवर करेंगे इंशाल्लाह ताला।
जी सर, ठीक है।
यार हम ऐसे स्टूडेंट क्यों नहीं थे? ਅਸੀਂ तो मास्टर ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਸਰ ਜੀ ਮਕਾਓ, ਬਸ ਮਕਾਓ ਲੈਕਚਰ, ਖੈਰ ਆ। Anyhow, very good. Missense mutations. So we just discussed about silent mutation. Now we have missense mutation. In silent mutation, the nucleotide nucleotide base pair changed. However, the amino acid didn't change, and there will be no change in the structure and function of the specific protein. So that is known as silent mutation. That mutation occurs, however, there will be no output of that mutation, positive or negative. So in missense mutation, the codon of one amino acid is changed into the codon of another amino acid. So in this, the amino acid will change. In silent mutation, amino acid will not change, only nucleotide base pair will change. However, in missense mutation, amino acid will change. And in this figure, you can see that here we have a C, replacement of single nucleotide CCT, here we have CAT. And because of this CCT and CAT, because of this CAT we have histidine. However, because of this CCT we have proline. So incorrect amino acid just present or came at the position of histidine, and this missense mutation can damage the protein. So this is the missense mutation, that one change in one nucleotide base pair or the codon, the whole amino acid changes. And obviously when amino acid will change, then structure of the protein change, and when the structure of protein change, the function of the protein will also change. So that after that we have nonsense mutation. In nonsense mutation, the codon, or you can say the amino acid or the function of the protein just stops there, and there will be a premature termination known as premature termination. The protein, suppose a protein A has to terminate at the amino acid position at after 100 amino acid. However, there is a mutation occur at amino acid number 19 or amino acid number 50, half of the protein, and just converted into stop codon. And then you know the synthesis of the protein will be terminated, and it will be a premature protein. If the domain of the protein will be in the other side of the protein, like from 51 to 100 amino acid, or the domain of the protein will be from 40 to 60, and half of the domain just cuts out, so that will be dangerous. So it depends. The codon of one amino acid is changed into a translation termination stop codon. So in this figure we can have a look to this, that here we have this at this position CAG. However, there is a mutation, that is nonsense mutation, and C cytosine just changes into thymine, and we have a stop codon here, TAG. And now you can see we don't have these amino acids here, and the protein just stops here. If these amino acids are very significant for performing a specific function, we lost this function. So that is known as missense mutation. So mutation occurs in genetic disorders, that is missense mutation, nonsense, splice mutation. So we discussed these frameshift mutation, nonsense and missense mutation. Here we have a splice mutation that alters one of these signals. Then part of or whole intron may be removed and remains as part of the final RNA molecule. That is known as splice mutation. If you guys just recall the concept of RNA splicing, that will help you to understand splice mutations. Because in RNA splicing, you know, we have different exons, and the introns just moves up, moves down, or just moves out, and the exon 1, 2 and 3 just combines and translate a protein. Similarly, there will be a exon shuffling concept, or that in which you can see exon 132, 321, 123, 312. So many shuffling in this so many shuffling possibilities are there. So if there will be a mutation in the signal, and the signal just changes the whole intron or remove the intron, and just disturb the RNA molecule, that specific mutation is known as splice mutations. Here we have an example of that splice mutation, that we have 3 exon in this protein, exon 1, exon 2 and exon 3, and you know that in between the exon we have introns, that is also known as non-coding sequences, and maybe this concept will change soon. After that we have correctly spliced messenger RNA, that is 1, 2 and 3. So we have the right protein. However, if we have the RNA splicing concept here, 321 and some other like 321, 231, 213, it will also be in the right direction. However, if there will be an incorrectly spliced messenger RNA, that we miss the exon number 2, exon skipping, then it will be a splice mutation. Exon number 2 should be here, here, or here. However, it is not on all these 3 positions, so we have exon skipping. Similarly, in this one, if 1 is here and 2 and 3 is here, and then you have an intron here, so it is also a type of, or a example of, incorrectly spliced messenger RNA. Here we have, so the protein that is normal, that has no mutation, is known as wild type protein or wild type sequence. It means that it is a normal sequence that we specifically, you can say, denote with this word wild type scientifically. In assay writing, we can say it as normal sequence or normal protein. However, in scientific writing and drafting, we have to write it is like wild type sequence or wild type protein or wild type cell or wild type tissue, and the other one is mutated cell, mutated sequence, mutated tissue, or mutated protein. So here we have an example of wild type sequence and mutated sequence, and you can see that we have GAA, TCC, okay, with one CTG, leucine, TCC, AAG. So because of one insertion or one deletion of leucine, we have this complete amino acid move out here. Now we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, we lost leucine. So this complete deletion of amino acid just shift the frame one point backward, and all the protein will be, if there is a total 100 amino acid of proteins, now it is 99 amino acid of that specific protein, so whole protein just moves back. So this is also a type of mutation. Now we have wild type sequence here again, and in this sequence, if CT will delete from CTG that encodes leucine, then this changes the reading frame and the corresponding amino acid sequence. So now you can see not complete codon or not complete 3 nucleotide base pair just deleted. Only 2 nucleotide base pair, only 2 nucleotide base pairs deleted out, and now we have, you can see GAA same. From here we have this CT just deleted out. Now we have GTC. After GTC we have no leucine and serine, we have valine. Now we have CAA. Because of CAA we don't have serine and lysine, we have galanine or glutamic acid maybe. And then we have this GGC. Because of this GGC we don't have lysine and alanine, we have glycine. And with GAA we CAA, sorry, we have again GLN as compared to alanine and asparagine. And in last we have T alone, and there will be no amino acid. So it is also a very dangerous mutation of frame shift. After that we have base substitution mutations. In base substitution mutations, one base pair of that specific sequence just replaced by another one, and change the base from you can say purine to pyrimidine, or maybe pyrimidine to purine. This is the base substitution mutation. I hope you guys just remember the concept of purine and pyrimidine. One is single cyclic, and other is the double cyclic that has 2 cyclic rings in their structures. So then we have transition mutation and transferrin mutation. In transition mutation, a transition is the replacement of a base by the other base of the same chemical. However, purine just changes into purine and pyrimidine just changes into pyrimidine after mutation is known as transition mutations. However, when purine just changes into pyrimidine and pyrimidine just changes into purine due to some mutations is known as transferrin mutation. Here we can see the example of this transferrin mutation from this figure. Sorry. In this transition mutation we did not discuss about the figure, so I am just came back. You can see from purine to purine, G guanine can change into adenine and adenine into guanine. However, the base will be same. So these mutations known as transition mutations. Similarly, in pyrimidine case, C into T and T into C. However, when A into C, A into T, or G into C or G into T, similarly C into A or C into G, or T into A or T into G. In these cases, when these mutations occur in the base pair, nucleotide base pair of any sequence, and pyrimidine change into purine change into pyrimidine, or pyrimidine changes into purine, in that condition, this mutation is known as transferrin mutation. After that, you guys are understanding the concepts. I don't want to make this lecture exhaustive so you cannot understand. Please represent your classes, Jonathan Javed and Laiba Khalid. So if the lecture is becoming exhaustive, we can stop here. We can start discussion. Please represent your classes. Excuse me. Jonathan Javed and Laiba Khalid. If you will not say something, I will continue. Jonathan Javed. Okay. Ji Jonathan.
Sir, I think we should stop.
Okay, you think we should stop here. Okay, thank you. Ji Mubin. Okay, Laiba Khalid. जी बेटा.
यस सर, आप यहाँ पर कर लें स्टॉप, फिर नेक्स्ट से कर लेंगे.
ठीक हो गया बेटा. थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन. जी मुबीन.
सर वो मेरा माइक नहीं अनम्यूट हो रहा था. सर ठीक है, ये मेरे ख्याल है ट्रांसवर्जन और ट्रांजिशन ये तो पहले भी पढ़े हुए हैं. आप एक दो स्लाइड और कर लें.
शाह साहब आप हार चुके हैं क्योंकि इलेक्शन दूसरी पार्टी जीत चुकी है, उनके वोट ज्यादा हैं.
ओके सर. ओके सर.
Anyone has any question, please raise your hand. If anyone has any question till now, please raise your hand. If anyone has any suggestion regarding the lecture, slides, data, or my way of explaining, please raise your hand and suggest in good ways. Do we have Tanavish Ejaz here? Tanavish Ejaz. Okay, we have Tanavish Ejaz. 80026.
यस सर.
आप लास्ट लेक्चर में थी बेटा?
यस सर.
ओके, वेरी गुड. समझ आइए आपको?
जी सर, आ गया.
Very good. Thank you so much. Anyone has any question? Please raise your hand. कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं किसी का? बेटा इसका ओके. नगीन फातिमा. जी नगीन.
सर असाइनमेंट की डेडलाइन क्या है?
असाइनमेंट की डेडलाइन 24 आवर्स.
ठीक है सर.
3 लाइना लिखनी है नगीन. कल 9 बजे तक. थैंक यू.
ओके सर.
Anyone has any question, please raise your hands. If anyone has any question. Okay, so it means we have to conclude our lecture and session here, and then we will continue from here in the next class, in the next lecture, inshallah ta'ala. If anyone has any question, or after that, if you are just attending or listening the lecture on YouTube who is not here, could not attend the class because of some many technical issues or personal issues, please attend the lecture from YouTube, and please listen it very carefully and clear your concepts, because it is very important that you should know about the mutations before performing the mutational analysis. Trust me, to run a software is nothing. You should know what you are going to do. You should have the theory in your mind. You should know the principles and algorithms of the software. You should know how to interpret the results. Thank you so much everyone for joining. See you in the next class.